welcome in. Please find a seat if you haven't found one already. All right, let's get started. Welcome to the National Museum of Mexican Art. My name is Jennifer Gonzalez. I'm the program coordinator of Yollocali Arts Reach, and I will be your MC tonight. Thank you for joining us for. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight for our storytelling celebration. During the past few weeks, our program participants have worked very hard and learned so many skills, and it's all led to this moment. I want to introduce some very important folks. Kate Barutha, head of programming at Today at Apple Creative Studios. Vanessa Sanchez, the coolest boss, director of the education department here at the museum and director of Yollocali Arts Reach. And Nick Wiley, managing director of Public Media Institute. If y'all can come up stage.
Thank you, Jenny. Hi, welcome, everyone. So glad that you're all here today to celebrate our Creative Studios students' beautiful work that you're about to experience live this evening. My name is Kate Barutha. I'm the head of programming with Today at Apple, and I've had the true privilege to be a part of this program for the past 2 years. Creative Studios is a global program that actually happens on a really hyper-local level in partnership with incredible nonprofits and our amazing teaching artists to really encourage emerging creators to pursue their creative ambitions. And so we've partnered with Yollocali the past 2 years and have really loved evolving the program with them. So just huge thank you to Vanessa, Hanan, Jenny, August, Emmy, Todd, and Fernie, and our new partner, Public Media Institute, and Nick, who made it all possible for all of the Midwest to get to experience their work live last week at MANA. And also just huge thank you for the teaching artists, Stephanie and Charlie, who you'll meet, Izzy Ortiz and Remy Yoho, and they really built out the entire curriculum and the inspiration behind this. And finally, thank you so much to the Apple team, George, Kenny, Chris, Brittany, Sela, Lorena, Jamise, and Al. And of course, thank you to the cohort of students who you'll get to meet very soon. Thank you for taking your creative risks and sharing your stories with us. So with that, I'll pass it over to Vanessa.
Thank you, Kate. My name is Vanessa. I'm director of Yollocali Arts Reach and the education department here at the museum. So in case you didn't know, Yollocali, our mission is to strengthen the value of youth, art, and culture by providing equal access to communal, artistic, and cultural resources that allow you to become creative and engaged community members. We're in Little Village. We offer programming for ages 15 to 24. We were very excited 2 years ago when Apple reached out and wanted to partner with us and create a program. This gave us the opportunity to serve young people who kind of age out of our high school programs, giving them more time to meet great mentors to work with, learn new skills, get paid for the work that they're doing, and really feel like engaged community members. So I want to again thank Apple for partnering with us. This wouldn't have been possible without Izzy actually, and Joseph and a couple of others who mentioned Rock Yollocali a bunch of times to Apple. So I'm thankful to them for mentioning our name so many times to give us this opportunity for the young people. I also want to thank PMI for always being a great partner with Yollocali from the beginning. When they started a radio station, Lumpen Radio, we partnered with them to bring young people's voices on the radio again, on the airwaves, and that was a really beautiful opportunity for us. So thank you again, PMI, being great partners. Our amazing teaching artists, just like Kate says, Stephanie and Charlie are the ultimate teaching artists. People need to write research papers on these two. They are really magic makers in Chicago. And I also wanted to thank, we like to lovingly call, this is our parents' house, the museum, for letting us be here and host this wonderful program. And thank you all for coming and celebrating all this great work. You're gonna be blown away. So I'm gonna pass it to Nick.
Hi. Wow. Everybody has already said so many folks to thank. I'm going to thank them all again, using technology to help me. Public Media Institute is super honored and grateful to be a part of supporting Creative Studios Chicago this year. Public Media Institute is a lot of things. It's a series of independent media arts platforms that have been amplifying voices from Chicago and the world for over 30 years. Some of these platforms include Lumpen Magazine, which is our longest running project over 30 years. Co-Prosperity, the gallery that the students came to over the course of this last week, which houses Lumpen Radio, 105.5 WLPN, which the students were live on Wednesday, and Lumpen TV, which is going to stream today's proceedings live as well, lumpen.tv. A lot of that is housed right at Prosperity down the street at 32nd and Morgan. And you can come next weekend to see Jack Walls or Javier Hasso's solo shows launching, or you can come play Dungeons & Dragons with us at Mars Brewing, also on Saturday. But the main thing that we collaborated with the students on so far was at Midway Fair last week, down the street on Cermak at Mana, which was amazing. The students were the headline presentation program of a weekend-long exhibition where over 100 artist groups from all over the Midwest came to present their work. I don't know, everyone was sort of like speechless at how amazing the work that we saw last weekend was, different than everything we're going to see this weekend. As soon as Pump Up the Jam came over the speakers, sort of like everyone felt like, oh, okay, Midway is a success. And so thank you for this to the students for that. I have paragraphs and paragraphs to gush about Charlie and Stephanie here, but none of this would be possible without their brilliant, hardworking, considerate, delightful leadership as the core connectors who've brought Yollocali and PMI together all these years as well. Charlie Garcia, radio producer, teaching artist, live streaming wizard. Stephanie Manriquez, radio producer, writer, journalist, community leader, and like heart of so many communities, are amazing. And they have led some of the most important and amazing projects that Public Media Institute and Yollocali independently undertaken over the last. I'm just going to mention two. My voice keeps dropping out. Technology, or my fault. Including Mex Files, which is the radio show that they launched in January with MacArthur Genius and one of my favorite artists, Guillermo Gomez Pena, which is and Communities Amplified, which brings new voices in Spanish and Cantonese to Lumpen Radio's airwaves. I will share all the other nice things I wanted to say to you, Stephanie and Charlie. But I'm just glad that among the countless people who have been inspired by Stephanie and Charlie, that we all get to count ourselves among them tonight. Welcome this class into that group. Their impact on so many of us has been incalculable. Inspire us to join them kind of in empowerment that they help other people to learn how to use. So, all right, I cut through a lot of that. Please welcome to the stage the people who are much more eloquent and excited to welcome the students onto the stage, Stephanie Manriquez and Charlie Garcia.
I can see no one from here. That makes me better, I guess. Well, I'm not gonna last too much in here because we need to start the show. Everybody already gave all the thanks in the world. We really, really appreciate that our community has embracing us to be part of this big project. Storytelling, it's something that we practically do every day, and we base our practice in storytelling in many forms. So for us to be part of these beautiful Creative Studios Part 2, it gave us the opportunity to build power with our own stories, with the students' stories, getting to know ourselves, healing, because we're in pandemic times, and I believe that we're still in the pandemic. So it was a healing process in how can we empower ourselves And also, how can we give power to our communities with our platforms, with our creativity, with our voice? All the students that have been part of this amazing program, I wanted to say thank you for all the learnings that gave us through these 5 weeks. Building this project has been definitely a journey of months and months, because besides that, again, it's how do we empower our own communities, thinking about the new times, thinking about what we want and envision for the future. How can we reimagine a better world? So with that said, I would just want to say thank you for everybody to be present here today, for allowing us for believing that we can give a little bit of our story to someone, and from there we can narrate each other's stories, because I think that's what our communities need. Thank you.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody who are here, and for Yollocali, the museum, the Apple team, and PMI. And I want to say thank you to the students, to the young creators, because I was one of them like long time ago with, trying to get or to learn technology back in 2000, and to see them right now doing all this awesome art, I reflect on them like I was there like long time ago, and I'm very thankful for giving back to the community and to share experiences, because we can share experience with technology, with any other elements, and their imagination that never have to stop, and also they need a lot of support. So that's why we're here to support them and also to see awesome things. So I just want to say that, and thank you so much.
Can we clap again for them, for Stephanie and Charlie? I just want to welcome you again to the National Museum of Mexican Art. Just in case you didn't hear, my name is Jennifer Gonzalez. I'm the program coordinator at Yollocali Arts Reach. I just got this new position, so I'm going to say it as many times as I want, show it off. Tonight, we will be immersed in storytelling. Through their audio visuals, each one of our program participants will be sharing their unique story, bringing into light their voices and the voices of their communities. Our program was led by Stephanie Manriquez and Charlie Garcia, who we just met, featuring amazing artists, creatives, and experts, Emmanuel Ramirez, who is backstage, August Abatang, Izzy Ortiz, and Rimi Yoho. Our program participants, yes, clap for all of them, yes, yes. Our program participants and performers tonight are Emmanuel Flores, Denise Rodriguez, Elizabeth Cardona, Vic Chavez, Sam Ocampo, Kayla Serrano, Ariandi Luna, Isha Raul, William Kid Guerrero, Sebastiana Smith, Diego Tadeo, Brian Cruz, Gloria Nine Valle, and Zipporah Auta. They wanted to have their own special introduction because they're superstars. They deserve it. And we will also be having a special performance by our very own August Abatang. So as they walk up to the stage, let's to their seats, let's clap for them, and I hope you enjoy the show.
kindness, man, kindness is giving back to the community. Define kindness, man, kindness is giving back to the community. Man, kindness is giving. Kindness. Define kindness, man, kindness is giving back to the community. Define kindness, man, kindness is giving back to the community. And that's what's in my heart.
Kindness is telling the truth.
Kindness. And that's what's in my heart. And that's what's in my heart. And that's what's in my heart. And that's what's in my heart.
Make you live a rewarding life, and make you live a rewarding life, and make you live a rewarding life, and make you live a rewarding life.
When I was a kid, I was really sad about moving around since me and my family moved around a lot. And we never really had
a lot of the conflicts and like issues that my siblings and I would have, but there were better ways to deal with them. Really thinking about how my parents responded to them and how helpful if my parents had the resources and the dialogue and the guidance to like have these conversations with us and like teach us lessons as like younger children about respecting each other's like items instead of like being yelled at, you know, con la chancla. That reminds me of like the first time I felt sadness, right?
My earliest moment of sadness when I was about 4 and my brother died. And we all our birthdays were my earliest. Everyone said that.
I realized that for kids, they really, really strongly need some kind of stability in their life to have any sort of expectations of what they want in the future.
moment of joy was first time going to the amusement park because my brother's teased.
I guess the first time I felt joy was actually because I'm the oldest of my 5 siblings, and I think it was when I learned that I was gonna have a sister.
I think my first memory of joy was when I turned 7, and I had a birthday party where I had a clown and a lot of balloons, and it was in my aunt's deck, and all my family was there, and I remember just being really happy.
Children need is an adult who supports them and loves them.
Right.
It's not my fault. It is my responsibility to heal for myself and others.
Es un círculo que estamos mal acostumbrados, como quien dice, porque podemos hacer algo más, tipo de diversión. Estoy limpiando mi casa, estoy en la yarda, lavando ropa, todo el día estoy haciendo algo en la casa para no estar sentada nada más.
La oportunidad no hacemos salir a pasear y conocer lugares diferentes. A mí lo único que me para es que esté lloviendo, que no venga a vender aquí, es que esté lloviendo, nevando, no, y nevando, porque aún así en el invierno vengo a vender.
No tenemos tiempo para nosotros. Esa pregunta y la verdad no sabía contestarte, porque siempre he estado trabajando. Nosotros no estamos acostumbrados a estar en la casa o si tú me dices vamos al parque, yo no sabría qué hacer en el parque. Si me dices vamos al cine, yo te diría, no lo sé, espérame. Estoy ocupada y el tiempo libre para mí es como, no sabría decirte, no sabría explicarte. A distraerse,
Que no se trabaja, pues son contadas las veces, porque te digo, muchas veces uno no se toma el tiempo para tomar un día libre.
irme al lago, en la bicicleta con mis niños, a disfrutar el viento. Estando en casa, pues agarramos el hobby de estar en la yarda, regando y plantando. Eso es nuestro hobby ahorita de todos. Yo estar más o menos más en la escuela porque por no querer estar en la casa por lo mismo. Y de chica mi papá nos traía casi nunca, de vez en cuando íbamos a trabajar, casi nunca, pero hasta a veces igual, así como por ejemplo los llevaba al trabajo. Siempre hemos sido comerciantes toda la vida.
What
Poetry is every day. Street.
Calle. Clay.
Open windows.
Rising huaraches.
Poetry is dancing.
Poesía es bailar.
Charcoal stained backyards.
Sunset porches.
Poetry is a bike.
Down the hill. Through the alley.
Wheels spinning past the cicadas.
Poetry is where stories are birthed.
Celebrated.
Dissed. Recycled.
Compared to this, compared to that.
Where language is stretched and contorted and broken.
Poetry is old.
Poesía es una vieja.
As old as tongue-in-cheek and laughter.
Poetry is really the first language that all people on earth spoke. So before there was a written word, there was a spoken word, and the spoken word was poetry.
Who is poetry for? 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 Poetry is for the people. Or is it?
Because with the poetry, they not paying attention. They got you because you Mexican. They look at me because I'm black. But I got a lot to offer. You have a lot to offer. You know what I'm saying? Why put us down? Fuck the white people. They've been fucking over us forever. We discovered a lot of things that the white folks took advantage of. We've been through a lot, and they be like, fuck us too. Yes. Well, you know, we smarter than they ass, but they want to take the credit for everything. And that's freaking bogus. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a black African American woman, and I'm gonna keep fighting, striving for you guys and for us too.
Poetry is my mother.
Mi madre.
Poetry is Gwendolyn Brooks.
Jose Olivares.
Jamila Woods.
Erica Sanchez.
And Nate Marshall.
Poetry belongs to Danez Smith.
And Natalie Diaz.
And specifically, poetry is Eve Ewing.
Poetry is alive and well.
Singing out your radio.
Walking down the street.
Resting on your little cousin's eyelashes.
Being adored by the sun.
Staring back at you in the mirror and demanding that you write.
Like in our culture, in our community, we do get that, but it's also like as a woman, like we have to play that role. Like for me, for instance, like I had to almost like serve my brother, you know.
Like you say, it's a culture, and I don't want to pass that thing because I don't see it in my family, but I see in other families that I know that the women's having, like, even in parties, you go to a party sometimes and people from village from Mexico, they keep the women in the kitchen.
We try not to be so hard on them, because I mean, me growing up, like my mom was always so strict on me. Like I wasn't allowed to do like A, B, C. I wasn't able to do this and this and that. I wasn't never allowed to like sleep over at my friend's house, and I let them sleep over at friend's house like every once in a while. I wasn't ever allowed to like sleep over at my cousin's house, even at that, and that's family members. So I let them go and spend the night at my brother's kid's house and stuff like that. So I try to give them a little bit more freedom than I had as a little child. I think if I would have had girls instead of boys, I think I would have been like extremely strict on the girls. Yeah. Because I see my mom, because I have a younger sister as well. So like my mom is most definitely like strict on them. And they would always be like, did mom always treat you like this? Like, yeah, mom never let me even put lip gloss on my lips. And I'm like, and you're not allowed either. And I'm like, so it's just like her mindset to be like, no, you can't wear it until you're 13. You can't paint your nails until you're 13. He's a rule breaker. But I mean, every kid is a rule breaker growing up.
At school, when she started school, the teachers would tell me like, oh, she has issues with sharing and patience and taking turns. It became almost like a negative thing on her.
Right.
Two teachers, like, oh, she doesn't nap and she's so like, you know, she wants to play.
It's a problem because the family showed them like, yeah, you have to be like that. Yeah, you have to listen to your boyfriend, husband. Not like that, you know, you see two kids right here, listen to us, maybe they're gonna change later. Who knows? But you have to pass the word. El valiente vive hasta que cobarde quiere, you know?
I don't expect her to do anything other than go to school and learn. That's all I want from her. That's all I expect from her. She doesn't have to get a job when she's older. She can go, that's her job, is to get her education. Because it's gonna be better. Like, I need her to know how to do math more than I need her to know how to sweep the floor. Because I want her to have a good job where she's not having to sweep the floor.
Yeah, he's very supportive of me, and
That's okay.
I'm not controlling that right now. It's
That's
just
okay.
going. But he's very like caring to me, and I love that, you know. And I'm very happy I have him in my life right now.
It means a lot to me. I was always trying to do my best, and she tried her best. I mean, she's the better version of me, and I'm trying to make sure that she can be even better than that. You know, it's not because I want this, because it's gonna be easier for her in the future of her life.
We raised her with the theory it takes a village.
I love her.
I love you and you're the best, and I would never trade you for the world.
Just come together as people. I mean, show them what's good about it and what's downfalls and how it want to affect the culture of people and like the way you think of it. People have different mindsets than me, so I mean, if it challenges them, I mean, and that's
inclusivo en el ser humano. Hay que trabajar duro porque la humanidad se ha ido disminuyendo un poco de las personas que son tolerantes. Y hay que tener paciencia y mucha tolerancia a las personas, porque hay personas que no les gusta ni que las vean, ni que las saluden, ni que las traten, ni que las miren, ni que nada, por el mal día que tienen, por las cosas que tienen en la cabeza, las preocupaciones. Y esas son cosas que uno tiene que entender y no todo tomarlos mal. Aquí le digo, ¿por qué? Porque no son solo ellos, nada más todos. Porque usted un día está mal, ella un día está bien, ella un día está mal, usted un día está mal. Y no sabemos cuándo estamos bien, cuándo estamos mal. Paciencia con las personas, considerar, tenerle respeto, eso sí, respetarlos mutuamente. Y así te griten y traten fuerte como sea la persona, siempre en la mano de Dios, todo cambia.
Una tabla de esas.
That's my buzz.
Yeah, they found somebody there with adherents and under the bridge.
That's my fucking buzz. No way. Wait a sec. Wait.
Like they celebrate, so they come here and shop for that, and it's nice that we teach our children how our traditions go for many years. So we keep that tradition alive. How many years have you been here? I've been here for a while. 2000 years. Maybe like 8 years working here at the Mándame. Hey.
Digo que no sabemos muy bien lo que está pasando sobre el disco. Y ahora, de los años que trabajamos aquí, pues yo empecé a trabajar aquí como en el 95, pero para entonces mi familia ya tenía una temporada aquí.
De esto, no. Si una de mi hermana se fue, porque si decía, ya lo van a cerrar, no, le dije, espérate, ¿tú por qué te vas a ir antes? Hasta que te digan la última palabra. Hay que ser perseverantes y hay que ser optimistas. Siempre dicen que al túnel, al último, hay un rayito de luz, de esperanza, ¿no?
Might as well just walk in on.
Don't do anything, man. Just say no to drugs, never, no. ¿Qué tal suena? ¿Quieren llevar unos hot dogs? Bueno, porque después no saben.
Yo empecé a trabajar aquí como en el...
Children how al último hay un rayito de luz, de esperanza, ¿no?
When my father came to the United States for the first time, he brought with him a leather jacket for the winters and his culture. The former wasn't very effective, but the latter, which has been around since my ancestors, has continued in my family. They are traditions. That's a heavy word. What is tradition?
Tradition is something that you can sort of, is a tie between generations, I think, in your family or culture of people that is tangible and you can hold on to.
Keeping it to like the basis of what you're used to.
Something done yearly, I guess.
Those are some people I talk to, and their answers give me insight. But sometimes I feel like tradition has been tainted. We use it as defense for abhorrent actions. Traditional gender roles were the proper way of society functioning, some say. Let's go back to that, they continue. Back in my day, we had respect for our elders. We listened to what they said. But we don't respect the new, those who come after us. I have my appreciation for traditions, things that have been before me and will continue long after I am gone. I've taken part in many myself and look back on them now with reverence. Tradition means more than what holidays we celebrate and customs we practice. It goes back to what we do as human beings.
Rammer is something we started here in Chicago. It goes way back. I think maybe 70s, 80s, or whatever. It's like, kind of got popular in the 90s.
A rammer is a huge truck that has very big tires and is, for the most part, used for up to no good, as far as I know.
Rammer is like a car that mostly gangbangers use to like ram their rivals or to do like dumb stuff with them, and they cut the mufflers off. It's like a big loud car.
Well, to me, having a rammer means it's basically like I own a piece of history here in the city that I grew up in. It means that the culture's still alive, but although there's a bad name to the culture, we're out here trying to make a name. We're out trying to bring the positive to these types of trucks, Hopefully, because Cali, they brought the lowriders into a positive light, right? We're trying to do the same thing for these types of trucks out here, You look at something when you're young and you're out here in the streets, you want to identify yourself with something or someone. Out here in the streets, the reality is we're buying junk cars, you know what I'm saying, to crash them. That's what it was.
I was rammed on Cicero Avenue back in, I want to say 96, before my child was born. But it was a Caprice Classic, a high jacked up high. That was back in 96. It's just a bad rap, just because of the vehicles, like the Suburbans, the Tahoes, the K5s, all those. But yeah, I think they could change over. Change is always good.
I don't know why that was the car that, you know, the people who were up to no good decided to use. But I feel like now it's kind of late to change the image for it, unfortunately.
You know, we do a lot of community events, Christmas, toy drives, you know, anything we could do, and you know what I'm saying, we do it to show that we're not the same people we were before, but we're trying to keep the culture alive. That's us, that's Chicago. I grew up with nothing, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with, like, I came from nothing, but we used to bounce from shelter to shelters, bro. Like, people see me and they judge me, bro. Even the police, they see me and they still judge me by the way I look, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, y'all could judge me, I'm not doing nothing dirty. I'm not getting my hands dirty with nothing. Everything I'm doing is positive, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help out and get back to the community.
If somebody sees you in there, they're gonna think you gangbang. Like, it's a nice car, it looks nice. It's like a lifted truck. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But sometimes it's just like dangerous.
In the future, you know, we just want to be able to drive these trucks basically without having any like gang members coming onto us, you know, trying to ram us, you know, because we're trying to preserve the culture, we're trying to preserve the trucks, we're trying to preserve history.
So they just want to cruise, drive around, and show off the rammers, you know what I'm saying? And now you got a bunch of young kids, they remember that culture, and they want to be Chicago, and they go buy a rammer, and they just want to cruise in peace, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like back in the days, but it was hectic, bro. You see a rammer, it was armed. Rammer right there, you know what I mean? Now as you see a rammer, it's like, you know, you gotta watch out what neighborhoods you go to and stuff like that, but it's like they're popping on more rammers, and people gotta realize we're here, we're not leaving, you know what I'm saying? If other cities go be proud of their culture, we're gonna be proud of our culture, you know what I'm saying?
These food deserts that are it's devastating to that community and others like it, especially black and brown communities, because there's so many food deserts in the city that people don't get access to affordable, healthy food. And diet affects everything, you know what I mean? Who has the highest incidence of like diabetes, obesity, heart disease, gets strokes the most? It's black and brown people.
I mean, as far as like food options too, I mean, having just like other options besides like, you know, meat and tortillas would be nice.
In this store, making it available and affordable.
You know, it'd be nice if everything was like well paved and like walkable. I don't know if you're familiar with Harrison Park, but the sidewalk around it is not very well paved. Even if somebody was like in a walker or like was older, like they might like fall on that sidewalk or something, which might, you know, like deter them from just going on a walk.
So it's not a matter of like, do I feel safe? It's like, do I feel scared? And it's like, no. Just like a designated walking path that has high visibility.
But you still want to keep your head on a swivel.
Because one, the scenery is very nice. There are no vacant lots. There's no abandoned buildings. That's what makes me safe.
So as I'm getting older, I want to be around for my kids, my wife, hopefully my grandkids coming down the road.
mucho o no? No, muy poco. Pues para poder tener para comer, para sacar para comer, para pagar renta.
El año que llegué aquí es en 1996. Tenía 20 años cuando llegué aquí. Según yo vine aquí para un mejor futuro y aparte porque aquí estaba mi familia. No me iba bien en México, entonces tomé la decisión de venir aquí a Estados Unidos. En lo que yo vine para acá, trabajé, dejé mis hijos en México, mis 2 hijas y mi hijo. Los dejé por un mes porque tenía que trabajar para poderlos traer aquí a Estados Unidos. Después mi hermano, pues, como él era legal aquí, él me dijo que él podía traerme a mis hijos porque ellos se quedaron en México. Entonces, pues, me gustó la idea y aparte ya tenía el dinero porque trabajé mucho para poderlos traer aquí. Y uno se pierde de la familia cuando uno se viene para acá. No me iba bien en México, entonces tuvimos que venirnos para acá. Esa fue nuestra decisión. Pero gracias a esa decisión, pues, ya mis hijos están grandes, se valen por sí solos y solo estoy al pendiente de ellos en todo momento. Pero ahorita tengo 2 trabajos. En una paletería y por la noche son 4 días que trabajo en la noche, limpio los restaurantes, hago limpieza. Sí, tengo ambición. Pero si Dios me da vida y salud, pues seguiré luchando hasta tener lo que yo quiero. Mientras Dios me ayude y mientras yo sepa que mis hijos están bien, voy a seguir adelante luchando.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says undocumented students are costing the state too much money, and he wants them banned from public schools.
Trump's promise to deport illegal immigrants has heightened fears among foreign students.
They should allow more resources for the younger people, and so that they have the same opportunities to get the access to education.
There should be access to financial aid for any student who's going through a regular school or for college so that they can get different degrees and pursue their education. I think that would be most helpful to everybody.
I just remember when I was in college, a lot of undocumented students protesting and pushing for their right to remain here, finish their education, and not be deported.
The students that have that potential to do something with their lives, and they come here for a better opportunity, but there's just big walls.
There has to be a much more effective pathway to citizenship, so it's not limited by income or wealth or restricted to such a small amount as it is right now. And even if that doesn't happen, they should definitely be allowed to apply for financial aid. I mean, they contribute to the tax system that pays out financial aid anyway, so there's no reasons they should be denied that opportunity as well.
Stress. What's gonna happen to my future? Big walls. Mental health. Financial situation. Equal opportunities. Resources. Can I really do this? Fear. Coming out of the shadow. Please let it work out. Stress, tension, fear, financial aid.
You should have known better.
My friends, passing away, and victims of like U.S. empire, colonialism, imperialism, so many things. I feel like I've lost a lot of friends.
But it was your fault.
Losing our homes, attachment issues, like forced migration. It's like such a great loss.
A lot of
trouble. It's hard, and you don't ever stop like feeling that emptiness and loss.
Having
self-compassion. Not being the way that I needed to growing up.
You just expect
Attachment issues and codependency. Aspect of happiness.
Yeah,
we just lost a lot of people. We lost 3 people this year.
My truth is
it's
so cool, and then like being like, yeah, but also like having your
I love you, Gloria.
my community is always like my house, and like having these people around
I love
me
you,
and like
Gloria.
lifting me, saying that my voice is important, like what I'm doing,
love you,
like it's so
Mary.
dope, and it's like it's a rewarding feeling for sure. Another good way to find healing through that is to kind of learn to just sit with it and be okay with
I love you, Joya.
meditate. You find a lot of peace in that.
I love you, Yoya. I love you, Yoya. I love you, Yoya. I love you, Yoya.
Can't be in there too long, but when you surround yourself with energy that is restorative for you, like even in your own energy, if you stay creative or you just keep your hands busy, your mind busy, your heart busy, and you do that with people you love and care about, and it's like if you feel like you lost something, then it'll feel tough for a little bit, but like you'll realize later you never really lost it. It's just something you bring out of yourself even more. You transmute it, because the only infinite thing is change. And so I view loss, death, all of that, I view it as change and transmutation. So, metamorphosis. Yes.
making money because the wages and the workers. If you love me and you submitted to me, you know that my heart is, my message is, you would run the way from God, and I'm going to let you know.
You've never seen the Most High judge you, but you see man judge you. If I say that I'm a Christian, then here's your box right there. But if I don't accept any of those things, you can't label me. All religions are man-made.
God is in us.
I think of creation when I think of the Most High, the creator of all things. Most High.
The source, the universe.
Or Allah.
I don't have a name for it.
So everything that we seek is.
I feel like naming it would reduce it, and I don't see a need for that.
At the same time, there have been a lot of bad things.
And I truly didn't believe at first, you know.
And for me to separate that from the all will be separating the power.
It's all about keeping the faith. You know, everything isn't going to be instant, and it's going to be hard.
I don't think something needs to be a big, profound thing in order for it to be proof of a divine interaction. I think something as simple as sitting and reading a book and, you know, and enjoying a breeze, and I think that's also just as divine as anything else.
Just for you to wake up and open your eyes.
We're breathing, we're walking, you know.
The ability for you to blink, and it's something that's uncontrollable. So anything should be attributed to and appreciated as if it's a gift.
The best things in life are free.
Y'all did so good. Can we have another round of applause for them, please? I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm so proud of you all. Now we're gonna have time for them to answer some of your questions. They're gonna sit up here on the stage and we'll pass around some mics. I don't know how to take these off. ¿Sabes cómo quitar este?
Ay, Dios mío.
I don't want to like break it. Can you hear me? Do any of you have any questions for our artists? Any questions, comments? Yes.
Hi, everybody did so amazing. I just want to say that first of all. But this question is for Kid from Pilsen. We all know that Kid from Pilsen does so many great things. He's part of so many different initiatives here in Chicago. But I wanted to know why you felt it was important to highlight the Rammer lifestyle.
Thank you, Delilah. First and foremost, I think there's a lot of movements out there in the world and in the country as well. The reason that I wanted to bring the Rammer movement up is because it's an up and coming movement in the city of Chicago. Rammers have been a bad narrative since the 80s, you know. But this movement, you know, Rackham Entertainment, Rammers, have been doing such a great job, you know, serving the community and things like that, you know, bringing that negative narrative into a positive narrative in modern times right now. And so, you know, I've seen them in action, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of movements out there that already have a light. Why not bring the Rammers to light in the city of Chicago, you know, so.
Any other questions?
Hi, thank you. Thank all of you for sharing, you know, a bit of yourself with us. That's not easy to do. So you should all be applauded again for that and do it in such a creative way. So kudos to all of you. The question I had was, and this could be for all of you to answer, or maybe a couple of you, I guess we don't want to be here all night, is after doing this project and sharing this personal story or narrative, how is this going to change your outlook on that theme or on that, or, you know, what you presented to us? You know, what did this experience do to either heighten your interest in it, or, you know, what's it going to do for you going forward from this experience?
I can start. So hi everyone, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm from, hi Sephora, and I'm from the northern suburbs. And I would say that this whole 5 weeks experience, I think the best word to describe it is transformative. And I use that word very sparingly. I've had very few transformative experiences in my life. I mean, I'm only 21, so that means there's so many more to come. And I would say that using the tools that I was able to create this piece, which for me was completely brand new. I would say my creativity was mostly in performance and writing. And so for me, I guess I am going to take from this is to keep going into things even if they're uncertain. And I've had many discussions with people from Apple Creative Studios about keeping that in mind as I grow older, because that's what life is there's a lot of uncertainty. And the second part is to keep having fun. I think I heard that constantly and consistently from everyone who was able to influence us. And that's how I I will approach this new form of creativity from here on out.
I'm sorry, did you mean like what are we taking away from like this project or our topics? Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna answer how he did. I think that what I took away from this is, I guess like the power of working with what you have, because there were a lot of surprises during this process, and you know, I had to just work with the changes and make the best of what I had. So I feel like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna take away. You can make a lot with the little that you have, more than you thought. Yeah.
I just wanted to. It's kind of the same as Sephora said. Well, basically, the way I see is that there are so many ways where you can portray one thing, and it's something I never thought I will do because I've never done visuals in my life. I've done audio, so that was easy for me. But like she said, there were a lot of surprises. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and by no means I am no artist at all. So it was definitely a challenge for me to draw all these silhouettes and everything and put it all together. And it was easier in my head, but when I come to doing it and in the app, it was quite difficult. And also it's crazy to see how something so simple can become something so complex. Thanks to Remy Yoho that came here and teach us how to use this crazy app, Tag Tool, and I don't know, it was definitely a new experience for me.
First of all, I want to thank everybody who gave me this opportunity, like Yollocali and Apple. Thank you. But everybody seems so stressed like all the time and under so much pressure. And I was like, damn. But then we saw everybody's and I was like, it's crazy. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And so it taught us like all that pressure makes diamonds. You know what I mean? All that pressure makes diamonds. And everybody did so great. And I'm just so happy that I could meet a lot of wonderful people. So I just want to take this experience with love and gratitude. So yeah, that's all.
In the beginning, we were interviewing people, and that was, something that was very nerve-wracking because, normally we just don't go up to people and just interview them on a certain topic, right? And that was good to know. I'll snap. We can walk up to someone and have a conversation, right, on any topic possible. And then when it came to animation, that's what it scared me a little bit because I don't really animate or draw. But Yollocali has really made me addicted to drawing now, and so I love it. I go home and I practice on cars, I practice on whatever, portraits and things like that. And I'm gonna say something a little bit in Spanish because my dad's here and I wanted to understand. En este programa yo aprendí muchas cosas maravillosas. Aprendí cómo animar, aprendí cómo dibujar carros, cómo dibujar todo. Yo desde cuando ya aprendí eso, yo fui a la casa y yo me empecé a trabajar cómo utilizar esa app. Y pues yo aprendí mucho y pues le quiero agradecer a Yollocali y Apple por tener las oportunidades aquí en las comunidades que necesitan oportunidades para que podamos mover enfrente. So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. So something that I'll take from this experience is to not be afraid to try different things and just go with the flow. Because I feel like that's what we did as we were live painting. There were so many buttons that we had to learn and so many images that were working together. And we were able to go from not knowing anything to kind of knowing a little more than how we started. So that's something I would definitely take with me, to not be afraid and try things. And then also learning as a community, because we all like helped each other. So that's always really helpful to have other peers around, just to ask a simple question like, hey, how do you do this? Or like, even when we went to go interview people, it was nerve-wracking, like just going up to somebody and like, hey, what do you think about this? And just recording it. So yeah, not be afraid of trying new things.
I'm Denise, and likewise with that too, I think something that I'm taking away is just how much confidence and support was given to us through, I mean, Steph and Charlie especially. I think they had so much confidence in us that I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, right? But if Steph and Charlie say we can, maybe. But yeah, I think that's the biggest way, or the biggest thing I'll take away from this, especially with my own project that I had, the Healing Journey one. I would say I even kind of had a bit of that same journey with them as well.
Hi, I'm Vic. I agree with a lot of what my peers have said, especially what Denise said. I'm really grateful for the support and community that is at Yollocali and Apple. The way that they work together so well, it was really beautiful to have a really large group of mentors there to help us whenever we needed. And our peers were really sweet and really funny and always there. When we made a mistake, they were there to help us. So I'm taking away that sense of community, and I want to bring that wherever I go now.
Hi, I'm Sebastiana. If you would have asked me before how I feel about being uncomfortable, I would have said that that's something I would stray away from. I want to have control over everything, and I want to be well informed in whatever I'm getting myself into. Unfortunately, this project was nothing like that. I was uncomfortable at all times, and I never knew what I was doing. I was introduced to something new every second of every day. But I learned to adjust and pivot and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think that in the future, if I ever come across something where I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that, or I'm uncomfortable, I feel that I would be more excited to dive into that and see what comes from it.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I agree with Sebastiana. I was like really uncomfortable at a lot of times because I had to like learn new things, and like I'm very open to learning new things, but it was just like I don't draw, I don't write, I don't do none of that, and I'm mainly like I'm a photographer. I take photos of stuff, and usually like that's where my creativity comes from. And I feel like the mentors and everybody kind of like pushed us to like spark that creativity. Like, well, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to write about? What do you want to do like with the opportunities and the resources that you have in front of you? Like, how do you want to make a change? And I feel like I'm like so grateful to be like around so many like amazing creatives. Like I met people who do different things than I do, and that was like amazing, giving me like new ideas and new perspective of things. And same thing with my mentors. So that's what I had to say.
Hi, I'm Sam. I guess what I learned from like being at Yollocali, because it's my first time like being in a program like that helps with my community. Like I think what I learned was like that I have like a voice. Like I feel like sometimes like when I do projects for like school, it's always usually focused on like trying to get like a good grade or like just kind of like going with like the rules. But I feel like being here, like I really was able to kind of explore things outside of my like comfort zone, and just kind of being like trying to get more like, well, like I feel like I got a lot of experience like being in this club or program. I kind of like what they were saying beforehand, like the beginning was kind of like uncomfortable, like especially with like interviews like on the street. Like I've never done that, so that was really like scary. But I think just like really going forward, like I think I really liked how like it was like a community. Like I never like been in a program where I've met so many like great people who were like really like engaging, and so like I I guess I really felt like this was like a safe space. So that's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ariandi. I'm kind of like a traditional like artist. I draw like a lot like pencil and paper. To talk about that, I guess what this program gave me is resources to do digital art. And it's always something that I wanted to practice, but I just never really thought I had the resources to do it. And this program forced me like to pursue that. And I've always kind of just strayed away from it just because it was scary. But I'm glad that this program like forced me to just like jump into it. Like how people were saying, like at first we were like really uncomfortable, like we were just like, what is this? But like I said, it like forced me to like keep going. And like if I wasn't forced to do it like under pressure, then I feel like I just wouldn't want to pursue it at all. So I'm very grateful for Yollocali and thankful to everybody who I met here. Everybody was really cool.
Hi, I'm Isha. So I'm going to echo what people have said. I'm really grateful to have this environment where people are just so supportive of everything that we're doing. I'm really, really grateful for my peers. You guys have really pushed me to try some things, and I'm really glad. And then aside from that, because I know a lot of people have talked about that, I've learned a lot of technical skills. I'm not like a visual artist at all. I mostly write. That's what I do. And so we were using Tag Tool, Procreate, and there's just so many things on there that I was able to explore that normally I would just be so uncomfortable and stray away from touching. So I'm glad that this program really gave me a chance to explore those, and I hope to use it in the future.
Hello, so my name is Nine. I think that my biggest takeaway was to create with like the energy that you truly have. I think when I started the program, I wanted to create from like an energy that I had aspired a while ago, but where my energy was at, I've been grieving. So I'm like, that's where I really have my focus on. And I know that I'm not the only one feeling like that. So I feel like I was able to connect with folks through like my visuals and interviewing people and really connecting with them and understanding that we're all going through hard times. And like a lot of times we don't talk about the dark times, but like I walked up to people with a little mic and we connected for like 3 minutes, and that was really powerful. And yeah, I guess like it just lets me know that like you really do need to create from the heart, and there's a lot of healing in that, like being vulnerable and exposing your feelings to people. I'm also really grateful that I get to show people what I do, like my family's here, my nephews, my little sister, like those are the next generation. So I'm really happy that they got to see me do that. I see my coworker Emily over there too, so I'm really thankful that she's here, and like everyone that showed out. Our instructors, the museum, Yollocali, always empowering us. Like they said, a lot of times like we come very insecure, no confidence, and then we are like led by wonderful people that really push us to like keep going and like keep doing things right on a positive light. And I'm just really thankful that I got to experience this, aside from everything that I learned, like the technical stuff and all that.
I think we have time for one more question. I'll run over to you. Thank you guys for sharing your art. It was very wonderful.
There was a story being told with your visual display. And if you would not mind, since we only had time for one question, to kind of give us a little insight of the story for each one of you all, because I know my daughter's here, and it was important to get the story out visually. And I think it's important that we understand each of your stories that you displayed today.
First, thank you for that question. Yeah, because the way I approached my piece as well is both the audio and the visual component is they're not supposed to be in sync. The audio is very much influenced by the artist Nick Cave, who was on the Mart sometime in the summer, and I wanted to. Well, I did want to answer that question of what is kindness, and to explore the further, bigger question is when have I seen individuals act on with human dignity, and so I would say the audio very much tries to answer that question, and the visual, which was a little bit more fun for me as I got more comfortable with this type of creativity. The visual is a story of my abuelos taking my sibling and I to my mom's motherland, which is in Guatemala City. I think that is the kindest thing that they've ever done, is to take two of their oldest grandchildren, just them, us four, and just the opportunity to travel is very kind. And then the second portion of that story is how when anyone's ever given me food, whether it's been in this country or other countries, that has always been an act of kindness and has always created an environment for me to feel really comfortable. Yeah, again, really thank you for that question. I'm glad I got to answer that.
We don't have time for all of you guys, so maybe two or another two people can reply that. But definitely, we have all what's the story about and all their stories in their program. So in each page, you will find their name, the name of the piece, and what is referred to. Just something to say really briefly. This storytelling, again, it just empowers community. It talks about tradition. It talks about healing, and definitely talks about what we want to see or envision for the world. So those are the things that we try to achieve through these stories, and definitely we wave them, or they wave themselves. As you can see, like, it was a very beautiful storyline in how can we, as community, can have different topics, but definitely go towards the same mission. How can we envision a better future and change? Thank you. So I don't know who else would like to respond to that question.
I can respond quickly, then I'm going to give it to Sebastiana. Well, for my piece, I asked people about like what they thought about a higher power and like what that meant for them in their life. I chose that topic, to be honest. They were like, oh, you could do it on anything you want. And for me, when that happens, I'm not good with picking, with choices. But I think that that's a topic that I find myself talking about with a lot of different people. And it's really interesting to hear everybody's answer. It's always a little bit similar, but at the same time, very, very different. So yeah, I thought it would be nice to just explore that more with different people.
My audiovisual was about food deserts. So I originally wanted to talk about that topic is because within the past year or so, my diet changed. I was a vegan for like 12 months. And I was attempting to like work out more, and as a result of that, I started taking advantage of a lot of resources in my neighborhood. So like grocery stores, walking or running outside, or going swimming at my local park district. And I started to realize that I was privileged to have resources like that, and not all neighborhoods that are predominantly minorities have the same resources. And I just feel like that was something to discuss and speak out about. So when I interview people, I ask them questions like, what were their eating habits, and if they desire to eat healthy, like, was it easier for them to do so? And I realized that the people who were on a mission to become healthier, to preserve their life and to live longer, because people that look like us in this room, we don't always, we often have, health concerns. So the people who desire to eat healthy, I realized that they also desire to have more active lifestyles, and that would include walking and running outside. And sometimes in certain neighborhoods that can be challenging. And from talking to people and researching, I realized that minority neighborhoods, not only do they tend to have less access to fresh produce, but they also tend to have less like bike lanes and stuff like that. And if they have sidewalks, then they're not always paved, and that's not a desirable environment to want to do better. So, yeah.
I want to ask y'all to stay on stage so we can take a picture of all of you together. And then afterwards, we do have dessert in the what is this called? The Courtyard Gallery. If you want to stay and mingle and eat some dessert. And then we also will have time for you to speak to the artists if you want to ask them any more questions. So please stay on stage. We're going to take some pictures. And I also just want to thank all y'all for coming and supporting our artists and our program. Thank you.